Hey, it's David Breslow back here with you. I want to thank you for joining me on this edition of Dose with David. I am the founder of Performance Success Strategies and author of Wired to Win. Today, I want to talk to you about something very important that I've learned from my clients over the years, and I've had this experience myself, and maybe you have too. I'm going to guess that you probably have. It's all about the frustration that they encounter when they try to improve and elevate themselves in some fashion. What do? We go to workshops, we go online, we read articles, we buy books, we do all these things to help us improve the way we live, the way we work, and the way we play. So I'm talking about athletes at any level, amateur and even professional. I'm talking about leaders in the corporate arena, supervisors, managers in the corporate arena. I'm talking about entrepreneurs, salespeople, all these kinds of people who want to elevate the way they live, work, and play, and improve a whole bunch of different areas that they read about as characteristics and traits of a peak performer. And so they've tried many, many different things. And again, the high majority of people who contact me tell me they're frustrated. They've tried all sorts of things and they don't know what else to do. They're not getting what they want. And I want to show you in this particular video why that's true. So if you've ever suffered the experience of being frustrated and change not happening as quick as you'd like it, or it's kind of incrementally happening step by step by step, I'm going to explain to you in this video why that's true. And it's true for all of us. I had the same experience too. So I'm going to use this really low-tech version, if you don't mind. I have these two tennis balls here. One is circle 1 and the other is circle 2. Now here's the deal. Circle 1 represents everything you know up until this moment in time, okay? All of your experiences, all of your beliefs, all of your attitudes, all of your point of views, your interpretations, your negativity, your pain, let's say, your suffering, all the things you've ever done up until now. All the good stuff is also in here too, but what we do is mostly pay attention to the bad stuff, right? All of that stuff is sitting here in circle 1, but where you want to be is in circle 2. Now, circle 2 is where your freedom is. Circle 2 is where all possibilities exist. New possibilities, new opportunities. So here's what happens. Circle 1, because it dominates our lives, because it's what we know up until this very moment in time. Everything you know, everything you've experienced, everything you believe, your limitations, your fears, your self-doubts, all of that stuff is lodged here in circle 1, okay? So what do? Our logical mind says, oh, this aspect of me is not where I want it to be. I need to go work on that. Let's say it's confidence, just as an example. So your logical mind says to you, oh, I should go work on my confidence. So what do? You go to a workshop on confidence, you buy a book, you read fancy phrases or nice poetry or whatever it might be. And all these things you're hoping will help you be more confident. Here's the mistake. The mistake is, and I call it a logical error, that mistake is what you're doing is you're trying to add all that new information you're getting, which might be really good information. You're trying to add it into the stuff that's already in circle 1. But where you really want to be is here in circle 2, right? And if you notice, circle 1 and circle 2 do not touch each other. They're two separate entities. So what I'm suggesting to you is you can hang out all you want in circle 1 with all of your little nice tips and strategies and theories and concepts, but you're never going to get into circle 2 because circle 2 is a separate entity. Circle 1 will never get you into circle 2. They're two separate entities. Do you see that, right? They don't connect with each other. So here's an analogy I'd like to give you. I call it the rancid milk analogy. Imagine if you go to your refrigerator and you open up a carton of milk and you smell it and whew, it's way past the due date, okay? It's rancid. So what do? Do you go to the store and buy a new carton of milk and pour half of that into the old milk, hoping that it smells and tastes better? No, you don't do that. You don't do that because you know it won't help. Well, guess what? Circle 1 is your old mind, your rancid milk. So what you're doing is when you go out and get new tips and new strategies and new theories and all sorts of things like that, you're adding that information into your Circle One rancid milk. And so what happens? It's running up against all of the limitations that you have here in Circle One. Get it? That's why things take time. That's why we struggle so much. That's why things don't happen as quickly as we'd like them. But when you're in Circle Two, guess what? Things happen quickly. So here's the point of all this. Again, I call it a logical error. That if you run around trying to get a whole bunch of new tips and new strategies and new theories and new concepts, which is what the majority of coaching is out there in the world today, I call it the tip and strategy orientation. They're more interested in throwing more information on you into your Circle One, that you end up with a lot of information in here, a lot of new stuff, right? But why doesn't it really help that much? It doesn't help because you're not here in Circle Two, which is where you need to be. Okay? When you're in Circle Two, all of that same new information, and I'm not saying the information is bad, it might be really good. But if you're not in Circle Two when you receive it, chances are you're going to be bumping up against all of your lifelong held limitations, fears, self-doubts, and so on. Does that make sense to you? Now, Einstein, yeah, Albert Einstein, that Einstein, he came up with a quote a long time ago that is quite relevant to this. He said, "You cannot solve a problem using the same mind that caused the problem in the first place." Guess what this is? Guess what this is? It is your old mind. So you keep dumping new information into your old mind, but your old mind has no resources. That's the amazing thing about it. There's nothing new that can happen while you're in Circle One. It's your old mind just with what you know up until this moment in time. There are no really great resources in there for you to get what you want. Circle Two represents what you want. Circle One represents where you are now. Circle Two represents where you can be. It's filled with new opportunities and new possibilities. None of the limiting factors that exist in Circle One exist here. There aren't any, which is why I love the approach that takes us into Circle Two right away. And so what I'm teaching in terms of helping people literally empower themselves is I'm teaching laws of human performance. And these laws, guess what? As soon as you hear them from day one, they bring you right here into Circle Two. We don't need to deal with Circle One. That's one of my issues with the traditional approaches is they're busy dealing with what's in here. And my question is, why do you want to deal with stuff that's already not helping you? Why do you want to try to figure out why this stuff is here? What's the difference? It's here. It's through your life experience. It's here. Why do you need to figure out why it happened, when it happened, and what it's there for? What's the point? Why don't you come right here in Circle Two and start in a place where new possibilities exist, new opportunities exist? It's a completely different experience. It's an experience of empowerment. When you're in Circle Two, you are empowered. So that is what I call the circle exercise. When you understand that Circle One and Circle Two exist, and they do. Those are just the phrases I use, Circle One, Circle Two. You can use any phrase you want. I just happen to like that one. And the people I talk to can really relate to that. I've done many like online teleseminars and things like that, where people will say to me, I knew stuff like that before, but not until I saw the circles. It was a nice graphic representation. I got it. And then I'd get these emails at the end of the program, and in the subject line, it would say, help, prisoner in Circle One, help, get me into Circle Two, things like that. And I would sit there and just laugh. It was pretty funny. But I knew that people got it. It's really simple. You have these two circles. I'm calling them Circle One and Circle Two. I'm using this very non-tech way of showing you two tennis balls. Circle One is everything you know up until this moment in time. Everything you know, which is why it's limited. It has no resources for anything new. So you keep swimming around in Circle One with new stuff. You keep swimming around in the rancid milk. You can do everything you want, but it's still going to be rancid, isn't it? So why hang out there? Why don't you come right into Circle Two, which is where you want to be? Circle Two is where your freedom is. Circle Two is where your empowerment is. So I invite you at the end of this video to take a look at the information below. I'm not sure where you're seeing it, but you'll probably see some information and a link that'll allow you to see a new training video I have for self-empowerment. It's the 3 secret strategies empowered people use to design the life that other people only dream about. And it doesn't matter what your life arena is, corporate world, entrepreneur, salesperson, private private person, it doesn't matter if you're a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad. It doesn't matter. If you're interested in feeling the feeling that comes with self-empowerment, I invite you to click on that link and go listen to that video. It's all free. And at the end of that video, you're also going to get one of my most popular strategies. It's called How to Eliminate Fear. I'm not talking about dealing with fear. That's what happens in here. People want to show you how to deal with your fear better. I'm not interested in doing that. I'm interested in helping you literally reduce it so low or eliminate it. And I have a very cool strategy exercise, my most popular exercise, that you can have for free as a result of listening to the video. It's all yours. So you're welcome to go over there. Dave Breslow, really glad to be with you here again. I hope it was clear. I hope I was able to make it clear to you the circle 1 and circle 2 difference. Because again, if you're hanging out in circle 1, then yeah, things are getting a little better. I'm not saying things don't improve, but they improve slowly. But basically, you're moving from one edge of circle 1 to the other. But all that time, you're still not where you want to be, which is here. So my question is, why not do something that brings you right here immediately? Why do you need to waste time trying to deal with all this stuff in here? You don't need to deal with it. There's nothing in here that's really helping you at this point. So leave it alone. Leave it alone. Find out what brings you into circle 2. And the Wired to Win program, which is what I teach, literally does that from day 1. Law number 1 brings you right here into circle 2. That's where your freedom is. So I hope that helps explain to you why that whatever you've been doing all this time, whether it's been weeks or months or years, hasn't really gotten you what you want. And you're still searching. I do hear that a lot from people. They're working on the same kinds of things year after year after year. They're a little bit better, but not really where they know they want them to be and where they know they can be. And it's true. They can be where you want them to be. And that's right here in circle 2. So Dave Breslow, thanks for listening. I appreciate you taking the time, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time here on Dose of Dave. Thank you. Take care.